Hello my friends, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna show you how to find quadratic formula. So this is the formula and this is the quadratic equation we are solving by using formula. So if you're watching this video, I assume you have learned linear equations. It's these ones. The difference between linear and quadratic is simply in linear x is normal, in quadratic x is a squared. In fact, in my language, quadrat means square. So for me, this is called linear equation, this is called square equation. Yeah. So let's remove this for now. So, linear equations are that simple, you know them. So all you have to do is move numbers to one side and leave letters to other. So you can have plus 8, you move it other side, it becomes minus. There it's multiple of 5, you move it to the other side, it becomes division. And that's it, it's done. So 23 minus 8 is 15, and 15 divided by 5 is 3, so x is 3. Very easy. It doesn't really matter how long it is, how many numbers are there, it's always easy. Well, quadratic is basically same. But before we do it, let's first solve a easier version of it. Same problem, it's still quadratic. There is just less numbers. For learning purposes, it's better to start with something simple. Also, I would advise you to try it yourself. Try it for 5 minutes to solve it. You're probably not gonna be able to if you haven't learned how to solve quadratic equations yet. But later when I show you how to do it, it will be more helpful if you have defined why you couldn't solve it and what was the problem, why you couldn't progress. Okay, so let's hide this. We don't need that for now. I guess we don't need this as well. So, you may be tempting to do something like this. So you have this, and you like think, oh, I'm just square rooting this, square rooting that. So I have a x plus 4x combine these two together, it becomes 5x. And then just move that 5 on the bottom. Oops. I assume that would be what you wanted to. Well, this is completely wrong. You can't square root just one number. It's not allowed. Because this number here is combination of both. You cannot square root just one part. You need squared them both at the same time. But idea actually is the right. Same as in linear equation. You need to get x's in one side and numbers in other side. And to do it you must remove square. So now there is a part how you remove square. And the best way to do it is visual. It's called completing the square. So this is the x squared. We're gonna draw it. both sides x, area is x squared. And this is 4x. So it's some kind of square. 4x, it means that there is multiplication between them. So we know this side is x, this side is 4. That's how it looks. And total is 21. Yeah. And we want to square root it. So, and one way to do it would be if you would think, if I can make it square, I can always square root it. Because right now it's 21. It's not square. So you cannot square root it. So I need to add some number so it's square. The question is, how do I know what kind of number to add? Like right now you see it easily, just plus 4. It's gonna be 25. But numbers can be big and not all can fit. And there is a way actually. If you look at this, you think, okay, I can divide this in half. This is x4. So each side becomes 2, 2. Like that. Let's draw actually new one. When you divided it, you just take that 1/2 and put it on the top. Can you rotate? Looks something wrong. Whatevs. Put it on the top. So you have 2 here, x here, and here is the one number missing, square. Each side is 2, so it's 4. That means if we add 4 to this equation, we have a perfect square. Let's do it. Yeah, I guess we can add here as well. Because when you add something in one side, you always add to other side as well. That's how math works. So now this is a perfect square, we know. How we square root it? Because they are like weird numbers. Well, if you would look at this square, you would find it yourself. Because as you see, square root is just x and 2. So basically square root of that and square root of this. Middle can be ignored. Would look something like this. Checking from the square. As you see, this doesn't matter, these two. It's x and 2. Here it is. Yeah, so you square root it. It becomes just x plus 2 equals 5. And from here it's just linear equation. Nothing really hard. You just move 2 to other side, make it minus, and that's it. Basically x is 3. Simply. So yeah, this technique is called completing the square. Let's delete this. So now let's tackle the big one. Here it is. When you finding the formula, the very good practice, good way is to change all the numbers in letters. It's gonna help you to solve it. Because if there are numbers, you may start to think about the properties of a number. Like, okay, this is prime, 16 is an even number, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 8 minus 3 is 5, same as that, you know, something like that. So you don't need it, because you need a formula to work for every way, every number, every possibility. So when you change numbers to the letters, it kind of blocks you these unnecessary things, unnecessary information, and lets you see big picture. Okay, so let's do it. 5 becomes AX, 16 becomes B, and 3 becomes C. Equals 0. Okay. So first step. This is this, this is this, and this is this. So we remember from the previous one that we want to add a number so it becomes perfect square. So this C is actually on our way, because we never know its value, so we never know what kind of number we should add to have a perfect square. So we get rid of it. It changed sides, so it becomes minus, of course. It's so hard to delete it beautifully. Yeah, so it becomes minus. That's the first step. Then, okay, where is that formula? Okay, doesn't matter. So, then we have to get rid of this A, because in that formula wait a minute. Okay, I found formula. There it is. Basically, this is what you need if you can't draw that picture of square. Like, square picture is visual. This is more of an algebraic way of doing it. Anyways, we need to get rid of A, so this is perfect square. Because we still want to draw the picture in mind. We want this to be like that. X square. We don't need some weird 5s in front of it. Any number. Yeah, to remove this you need to divide it by A. When you divide every... divide this, divide this, divide that. Nothing really special as well. So you divide that. You divide that. And this one you remove. So now we're getting closer. Excuse me. It's okay. This is same as that previous square we did. We could write this down as, yeah, also bx over a. You do not need to both of them put on the top. You can just leave it like this. It's simply rules of mathematics. It doesn't change the total answer. It doesn't matter if you divide them both at the same time or divide later or whatever. It doesn't matter. Also, it's easier to understand at the moment because of this square we are drawing. Like one side is x, we already know it. Other side is b over a. A bit hard to draw though. The same thing what we did with previous. It just look a bit harder, but it's not. Well, it is a bit more complicated, but you solve it same way. Okay. As previous time, if we divided it in two, we could put that half here, and then there is a small square which we know we must add. Also, now one trick with the fractions. Let's say you have a fraction 2 over 4 and you want to divide it in half. You have two ways to do it. You can divide first number and make it 1 over 4. Or you have a second way. You can multiple bottom one. And it's gonna be 2 over 8. Both of them becomes 2 times smaller. So it's like up to you which way you choose. You can rather divide top number or multiply bottom number. These both are the same value. With numbers it doesn't matter which you choose mostly. But when you come to letters, like here, you know how you're gonna divide b, you don't know how to divide b. But multiple bottom is plain simple, you just put 2 in front of it. So yeah, we cut it in half and move 1/2 there. And remove this for a moment. Well, imagine it's that. So it was b over a. Now it becomes half. So we don't want to divide b, we just make a twice the size. So it becomes b, that's ugly b over 2a. Ugh. I will try once again. B over 2a. And this is x. And this is the same. B over 2a. Damn it. Not enough space. So there is a little square what we need to add. And we know that this little square is b over 2a times b over 2a. I think I'm gonna delete this now, because I don't have a space. So, b over 2a. How you multiply fractions? It's a bit long to do it all this in Paint. So this is what we need. There is what you do with fractions. When you multiply fractions, you can ignore the line. You just multiply both top ones and bottom ones. It's just fraction rules. You really need to learn all of these. It makes life so much easier. So it's just b times b is b squared. And 2a times 2a is... You also just multiply numbers with numbers and letters with letters. 2 times 2 is 4. And a times a is a squared. So this is the result. That's that little square we draw in the corner. This is what we need to add to have a perfect square. Also, don't forget that when you add in one side, you should also add same thing in other side. So we add it here, and we add it here. Well, actually I'm gonna add it like that. In front. Usually in math, when you add something, you add it in front. Yeah, that's the minus. You could put it there. What else? There is plus. Looks a bit ugly, but I hope you understand. So now this is perfect square. I'm gonna leave it for now. Now we're gonna deal with this side, because it's kind of alright, but we can make it prettier. If you, well, you definitely studied fractions and you know that to, what's the word, combine fractions, you need to make bottoms same. So this is 4a squared and this is just a. So we need to make it 4a squared as well. It's easy. First we multiply both top and bottom with a. Nothing hard. So I guess it's easier to make new one. So top becomes minus ac and bottom becomes a squared. Yeah, working with paint, man. Paint, so hard. So bottom becomes the... So we change this, because that's also rules of a fraction. If you multiply top and bottom with a number, it does not change the value of fraction. So we don't need to add anything this side. If I would add, let's say, 1 to this and 1 to that, it would become different fractions right away. But if I multiply, it stays the same. So now we multiply top and bottom with the a. It looks like that. We can delete this, we don't need it anymore. We can also add that minus. Like that. Now we need 4 also. Nothing special, just multiple that by 4 and multiply that by 4. It's allowed. It's math rules. So now bottom is the same for both of these. Now we can combine them. So we can remove one of the bottoms. Doesn't matter which. Let's rewrite this line. Yeah, this was a minus, shouldn't forget that. Yeah, that's prettier. So we combine those both. So now let's deal with this one. As you remember, this is the perfect square. So same what we did with the first quadratic equation with simple one, we need to do now. We can do it visually, same as last time. Like, if this is x, the small square on the top, this one, gonna be b square over 4a2. So we need to square root that and square root that, and we got the number. If we don't want to do it visually, you can use formula. You probably learned it already. It's this. I do not know easy way to derive it yourself. You simply have to learn it before, and then like look and see look and see similarities in them. Like this is squared, this is squared, this is something combined. Also, how to find half of this, not half. Okay, it doesn't matter. We square root that and square root that. So let's write it down now. Okay, should move it here. So we write x plus b over 2a. Sorry about this weird look. Yeah, if you remember, this was the... Damn it. This was the number we used to get this one. Like when we draw this square. This was a x. Yeah, xx and sides were ba, and we divided them by 2. So it became b2a. Damn it. So this side was a x, this side was b2a. I really hope it's understandable. And basically, this thing what we got, if we square it, we get this one. Because squaring means multiplying with yourself. we could just do it. You know? We just get two of them. X times x is x squared. Then x times b 2a, it's just b over 2ax. Then you do it again, you get the same, and then you multiply these two, which gets you this one. Yeah, I hope it's understandable. Anyways, after you did this, it's almost done. Because now you can remove the square. You remove square from here. Well, basically you square root it. And you square root this one as well. Now we can move this to other side. When you move it, it changes from plus to minus. Okay. A bit crampy space. Yeah, so we move this to other side. It becomes minus. And that's it, you have an x on this side. And basically you could already finish it this way. You can already put numbers in and get your answer. But we can make it a bit prettier. First of all, if you square root fraction, let's say I have a, well, doesn't matter, a over b, some kind of fraction, and I square root it, it's equal to square rooting fraction, it's equal square rooting each one individually. These are also again fraction rules. Most powerful tool ever. Yeah, so we have a here big square root. We can remove it and make it small. Well, not small, but we can make it two of them. So now we have a square root here, and now we have a square root here. Doesn't change anything. Yeah, we can square root this, it's easy. 4a squared, it's just 2a. Because 2a times 2a, damn it. How you do it? Yeah. 2a, 2 times 2 is 4, and a times a is a squared. So yeah, we can square root this. It's very important, because now it becomes same as that one. Means we can combine them. A bit ugly, but whatever. So we can combine them. Also, because here is square root, we put plus and minus here. The only reason we do it is because when you square a number, it always becomes positive. Let's say you have a 25 and you're saying, well, what is the square root of it? And the answer is a 5 or negative 5. So when we square root this, we do not know from which numbers it was made, plus or minus. It could be both. So it automatically, we find answer for both. It's just how math works. It's not like that plus and minus came from somewhere. It's simply because we do square root, both numbers is allowed, positive and negative. Because we do not know from what kind of number this was made. Because answer is same, no matter you start with positive or negative. Yeah, and that's it. We can put that minus on top by b. So let's remove all of this. And if we compare it to the equation we saw in the beginning, you see they are same. Now all you have to do is put numbers in. You already know, like b is a 16, a is the first number, 5, and c is a third number. In this particular example it's 3. Yeah, just replace letters with numbers and you find answer. So that's how you find formula. I hope it wasn't confusing because it was a bit confusing for me myself. Turned out it's a bit harder to explain than I thought. But if it helped you, thanks for watching. See ya.